My name's Cade, and I went on this cruise from Miami to the Caribbean with my family last month. Seemed like a normal vacation, you know. The thing is, I've had insomnia since college. Just one of those things where my brain won't shut up at night. So around 3 a.m. every night on the ship, I'd walk the hallways. The crew didn't seem to mind. They'd just nod and keep doing their cleaning. But on night 3, something felt weird. I was walking past the kitchen area when I saw these guys wheeling out these huge laundry carts. At first I thought, okay, makes sense, they probably do laundry at night. But then I noticed the smell. It wasn't like detergent or anything. It was this metallic, gross smell that made me want to throw up. Like when you cut yourself and taste blood, but way stronger. The carts looked really heavy too, like these guys were struggling to push them, and they were big guys. I watched them wheel the carts toward the back of the ship where they dump trash and stuff. One of the wheels was squeaking really loud, which is probably why I noticed them in the first place. I didn't think much of it that night. Maybe they were dumping old kitchen equipment or something. But then it happened again the next night. Same time, same smell, same heavy carts. This time, I tried to take a picture with my phone because, I don't know, it just seemed odd. But my camera kept acting up. The screen would go black or the flash wouldn't work. Which was weird because my phone was only like 6 months old. On day 5, I started noticing people missing from dinner. This family from Chicago that sat near us. The parents looked really worried. When I asked what was wrong, they said their teenage son got really sick from the seafood buffet and the crew moved him to the medical bay. Same story from this older couple from Denver. Their daughter got food poisoning and got transferred to medical. But here's the thing that really freaked me out. I decided to find the medical bay to check on these people. Just being friendly, you know? It took me forever to find it, and when I finally did, it was completely empty. Not just empty like no patients. Empty like it had never been used. The beds still had plastic on them. No medical equipment was even plugged in. I asked one of the crew members about it, and he just said the medical bay was on a different deck. But I'd already checked every deck. The ship wasn't that big. On the last night, I couldn't sleep at all. I kept thinking about those damn carts and the missing people. During dinner, I noticed my chicken tasted really strange. Like, not spoiled, but different. The texture was off too. Kind of chewy in a way that made my stomach feel sick. About an hour after eating, I started feeling really bad. Not like normal food poisoning though. My whole body felt weak and my vision kept getting blurry. I tried to make it back to my room but ended up sitting in a hallway chair for like 20 minutes. That's when I saw them again. The same crew members with the carts. But this time, one of the carts had something sticking out. It looked like... fuck, I don't even want to say it. But it looked like a person's arm. I tried to get up to look closer, but I was feeling so sick I could barely stand. By the time I managed to walk over there, they were gone. We docked in Miami the next morning. I never saw those missing passengers again. Their families were asking crew members about them, but everyone just kept saying they were transferred to a mainland hospital. I still can't eat chicken, and I keep having these dreams about that squeaky wheel sound echoing through empty hallways. I probably sound crazy, but I know what I saw. My name is Jack, just some guy who thought a cruise would be a chill way to spend a week. I booked this trip out of Tampa, Florida, on a big old ship called the Starlight Serenity. Sounded nice, right? I'm a light sleeper, always have been. Even back home in Orlando, my neighbor's dog barking at 3 a.m. would wake me up. Anyway, I figured a cruise would be relaxing. Boy, was I wrong. The first night, I couldn't sleep. The air conditioning in my cabin was loud as hell, like a jet engine kicking on every 2 hours. I'd just drift off, and whoosh, it'd start again. Then, around 2 a.m., I heard mops and buckets clanging in the hallway. Cleaning crew, I guess? At 4 a.m., the ship's horn blared for some safety test. I was pissed, but I thought, okay, maybe it's just one bad night. Next day, everyone looked tired. Like, not just sleepy, but grumpy. This guy, Terrence, at breakfast, was snapping at his wife over burnt toast. I noticed the casino was packed, though. People were dropping cash like they didn't care. I saw this lady, Maribel, at the slot machines, eyes all red, muttering to herself. She told me she hadn't slept in 2 days, said the horn kept waking her kid up. I felt bad, but something was weird. By day 3, I was a zombie. The AC, the cleaning, the horn, it never stopped. I'd hear it at random times, like 1 a.m., then 5 a.m. I started noticing the crew. They'd watch us, like, too closely. One night, I caught this steward, Javier, staring at me in the dining hall. He smiled, but it didn't feel right. I don't know, I started feeling paranoid, like they knew I wasn't sleeping. I complained to guest services. Big mistake. They moved me to a new cabin, but it was worse. The AC was louder, and the walls were so thin I could hear the couple next door arguing all night. I started keeping a notebook, jotting down the noises. That's when I saw it. A paper slipped under my door. It was a schedule, but not the passenger one. It said stuff like a C-cycle, 0200 to 0215, and hallway maintenance, 0300. It was like they wanted us awake. I got nosy. Overheard 2 crew members whispering in the stairwell. One said, "Passenger 247's showing signs. Push the casino deals." That was my number. My heart was racing, but I kept quiet. I started watching other passengers. This guy, Darnell, was losing it, yelling at a waiter over a spilled drink. Later, I saw him in the casino, betting his watch. Maribel, too, she was back, spending more. The crew was circling her like vultures. Then I found it. In the library, tucked in a book, was a report. It said the ship was a controlled environment for a sleep deprivation study. They were tracking us, seeing how lack of sleep made us act. The casino and shops made bank when we were exhausted. Worse, they were documenting people breaking down. Some got violent, others just shut down, staring at walls. The medical staff weren't helping. They were taking notes. I freaked out. I wanted off, but we were in the middle of the damn ocean. Last night, I saw Darnell being escorted away, eyes blank. I don't know where they took him. I hid in my cabin, pretending to sleep, but I could hear Javier outside my door, just standing there. I'm back in Orlando now. I still don't sleep right. The cruise line sent me a survey, asking about my experience. I threw it out. Sometimes I hear an AC hum at night and jump out of bed. I don't know what they did with those reports, or who they sent them to. I'm Ezra, by the way, psychology major at State. Anyway, my aunt got me this cruise ticket for graduation, said I needed to relax after finals. The ship left from Miami, going to the Caribbean for 7 days. First day was normal enough. You know how cruises are, tons of activities, entertainment staff everywhere with those fake smiles. But they had these personality tests at check-in. Nothing weird about that, right? Just seemed like fun vacation stuff. The questionnaire was long though, like really long. Pages and pages asking about my fears, what makes me comfortable, how I handle stress. The staff member, this lady named Jessica, kept saying, "Just be honest, it helps us make your vacation perfect." I noticed they were doing compatibility tests too, matching people up for activities based on their answers. Made sense, I guess. But then, weird shit started happening on day 3. I'm naturally pretty outgoing, always have been since high school back in Denver. But suddenly, all my assigned activities were solo things. Quiet library time, individual spa sessions, meditation classes with just me and the instructor. When I tried joining group activities, staff would politely redirect me elsewhere. Meanwhile, I saw this shy girl from Phoenix, Mallory, I think, being pushed into karaoke, loud party games, crowded dance floors. She looked miserable, kept trying to leave, but staff would gently guide her back, saying things like, "Come on, step out of your comfort zone." The entertainment crew knew everything about us, and I mean everything. They'd casually mention personal details from our questionnaires during conversations. "Oh, Ezra, since you mentioned being afraid of enclosed spaces," stuff like that. Day 4, things got worse. I started feeling anxious in crowds, which never happens to me. My roommate, this confident businessman from Chicago, was suddenly second-guessing every decision. Couldn't even pick what to eat without asking 3 different people. That's when I realized what they were doing. During a fun personality workshop, I noticed the instructor's notebook. She had detailed psychological profiles on everyone. Color-coded charts showing our weaknesses, triggers, spending habits. Notes like, subject responds to social pressure when isolated, and increase anxiety to promote impulse buying. They weren't trying to match our personalities. They were systematically breaking them down. The entertainment staff all had psychology backgrounds. I overheard 2 of them discussing behavioral modification schedules and conditioning protocols. They were treating us like lab rats. By day 6, passengers were acting completely different. The shy girl was having panic attacks from overstimulation. Confident people were paranoid and needy. Everyone was making crazy purchases. Expensive jewelry, overpriced excursions, premium drink packages they'd never normally buy. I tried talking to other passengers about it, but they just stared at me blankly, like their critical thinking had been switched off. The worst part? Some people seemed permanently changed. This guy from Seattle, who'd been quiet and thoughtful, was now loud and reckless. A woman from Boston, who'd been social and cheerful, had become withdrawn and suspicious. It was like watching people lose themselves. I spent the last day hiding in my room, refusing all activities. Even then, staff kept knocking, offering personalized experiences designed specifically for me. Their voices were so sickeningly sweet. When we docked back in Miami, I watched passengers stumbling off like zombies. Some were crying for no reason, others were laughing hysterically. A few looked completely hollow inside. I still don't know if what I saw was legal. Probably exists in some gray area of maritime law. All I know is that cruise line has my psychological profile somewhere in their database. And sometimes, I catch myself acting different than before, making choices that don't feel like me. Maybe they got to me too.